thank you for joining us for these few coming minutes where we're going to meet another artist. This time we came to talk to Agatha Grima. Hello Agatha, and thank you for having us over. I would like to get to know you as a person, and perhaps you can start on telling me your beginnings, your very beginnings from when you were young.
I've been interested in art, obviously, since I was very young. I've been known, when you're a kid at school. My colleagues used to tell me like I'm the artist. It was like since I was a young,
very small child.
Yes. I used to do drawings for them like during Christmas time. So it's been like there's been like this energy in me, this interest. I had this great interest in art, and of course eventually I went to the School of Art to have lessons there. But mainly, I mean, at that time, no one would have expected you to become an artist. At that time, you'd either be, their wishes would be like you'd be a doctor or a lawyer.
The usual thing.
So being an artist is not a profession, really. Was not an option at that time. So it always was a passion in me, like a hobby, which I followed through. But it's mainly I feel that I'm self-taught. Eventually, of course, I got married. I have 2 kids. I'm married to Ray and have 2 kids, Rachel and Daniel. Now they're grown-ups, of course. Rachel has a kid herself. We have a 2.5-year-old. And eventually I continued. When they were studying themselves, I wanted to get a degree, and I continued studying. Like I studied conservation. So by specialization, I'm a conservator.
Good.
And during that time, of course, having my artistic balance, like having this artistic need and want. All that I learned throughout my conservation studies, I used, of course, to develop in my artistic journey.
So it was two-sided.
So it was,
One
yes.
expression,
way,
and the
yes.
other was
So in a way, all the theory that I learned.
What about materials? Which are your favorite?
At the moment, I'm using. I started off painting in oils, as I can't say as most do, but that is how I started off, because I started off doing reproductions of the old masters. In a way, that was in itself also a way of growth.
Yes.
I grew also in gaining technique and gaining knowledge about techniques. But today, eventually, I discovered acrylics. So today, I work a lot with other media. I use acrylics, I use resin, I use paper, I use metals. So, and I would use them in different forms as well. With art, I work very, very freely. Yeah. That is how I started off, literally, and finding my true self, and finding myself.
Any people you admire from abroad or Malta?
I love this one artist who is an Indian person. He was. He's an Indian, but he lives in London. It's Anish Kapoor. He has done great works. I mean, but I've seen his works, and I love his philosophies. And I also love Ai Weiwei. Ai Weiwei is he is an artist who is Chinese, and who has been like going through this crusade. Through his art towards freedom, like to try and free and to try and bring the truth out.
To attract attention to what's happening.
Yes, to attract attention to what's happening, and in defining like political issues through his art.
Any exhibitions going on at the moment, or aspirations for some?
Aspirations always, as always. You have new ideas are always budding, and I'm thinking about this thing. So I write things down. Like this will be my new exhibition, my next exhibition. But at the moment, I had a very important exhibition. It was held at Bank Austria in Vienna. So this has been one of the greatest experiences in my artistic journey. It's been very enriching, of course.
I hope you have more of them.
Yeah.
One final piece of advice for people who are starting off in art?
I think people should, first and foremost, relax with art. With art, there might be rules and regulations, because to start off with. But eventually, people need to be loving what they're doing, and people need to do it for themselves primarily. That is my recipe. I do art for myself.